Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a zombie horror film, Land of the Dead, Part 1. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with various voiceovers talking about the emergence of zombies in the world. There's a sense of urgency as this has become a global phenomenon, and people are worried that the zombies might even be able to think on their own. Now we move to the present day, where zombies are roaming around a church area. Some of them are even playing a few instruments, and a zombie couple also goes on a romantic walk. A man named Riley and his friend are scavenging for supplies, and they notice all of this unfold. As expected, they are shocked to see the zombies trying to act as if they're living human beings. One of the zombies, named Big Daddy, notices the men and signals to the zombie couple to attack them. There's no time to waste, so Riley and his friend run their smelly ass away from the scene. Now, we see a corpse suddenly reanimate into an ugly zombie. However, a scavenger man named Bully kills it before it can wreak any havoc. Afterward, a mysterious person approaches Riley and his friend, but he's revealed to be a normal man named Charlie who has a burnt face like a zombie. The men get together and discuss their next plan of action, while we also see a giant armored truck named the Dead Reckoning, which is used to travel across the zombie areas with ease. Bully and his survivor team join Riley and his men, who mention that zombies are becoming sentient. Bully doesn't take things seriously and simply wants to get done with the supply run. Riley says this is his last rodeo, so he doesn't want anything to go wrong. Bully simply laughs and says that he is also doing this for the last time. We learn that the zombies are susceptible to light, as can be seen when they get distracted and frozen by some fireworks. Big Daddy tries to alarm the other zombies that this is a trap, but it's of no use as the survivor team passes by and kills all the zombies on the road. Big Daddy witnesses the chaos around him and is even emotional to see his zombie buddies taken away from him. It seems like an easy mission, but the fireworks stop and the zombies come back to their senses. Riley kills a bald zombie to save Charlie, and the Dead Reckoning truck comes into play by shooting down tons of zombies. Riley radios Bully and tells him to come back with his friend, but he ignores him because he wants to get some alcohol. The friend, Bully, and his men go explore a local shop and stock up on booze bottles, but Bully gets attacked by a hidden zombie. A brief struggle follows, but he's eventually able to kill it without any help from his buddies. The men pack up and leave, but Riley's friend gets bitten by a zombie guard. The zombie guard chases after him, but Riley arrives and kills it. He wants to save his friend as well, but Bully says it's best to kill him before he turns into a zombie. Riley doesn't want to do this, but his friend spares everyone the drama and shoots himself to end things. It makes Riley emotional, so he calls it a night. The team leaves the zombie area, but Big Daddy manages to steal an AK-69 rifle from one of the bikers in the process. He growls at the team as they ride away, but also loads up the gun to prepare for war. He then leads the zombie army to rebel against the humans. Now Riley and Charlie are making their way to a city which is seemingly abandoned. However, there's a building in the city called Fiddler's Green. It turns out that this building is a luxury residence where rich people can enjoy comfortable lives because they are protected by borders. Bully is ready to enjoy this life, but Riley gives him grief for involving his dead friend in his alcohol heist. This leads to an argument between the men, but they eventually separate and Riley enters the abandoned part of the city, where poor people are living without mercy. The differences in class are apparent as Bully enters Fiddler's Green and moves to meet one of the board members. In the middle of this, we see the military in action as they shoot down a rogue zombie trying to pass through an electrocuted fence protecting the city. Riley and Charlie meet a rebel group in the abandoned area and are happily welcomed by their rebel leader. We learn that Riley has come here to take his car so that he can go to Canada and start a new life. Meanwhile, Bully meets the board member's assistant but can hear strange noises coming from his house. He enters the house but finds the board member dead, having hanged himself. Realizing that he will turn into a zombie, Bully grabs a weapon but bumps into the board member's wife. She distracts him with her chicken crying, while the board member awakens as a zombie and kills his own son. Bully brutally kills the zombie and is then confronted by a guard. He is asked what's going on, but says that it's the guard's problem now. Now Riley goes to get his car, but sees nothing in the garage, so he realizes he's been scammed by a dwarf cowboy who runs the show in the abandoned area. At night, we see an underground club where zombies are used for entertainment. A sexy girl named Babe is thrown into a ring to survive against some nasty zombies, and then we see Riley confronting the dwarf cowboy for stealing his car. He spots Babe struggling against the zombies, so he shoots them down to save her sexy body. Panic ensues as everyone runs away, and the dwarf cowboy starts shooting at Riley and Charlie. Babe saves Riley by taking a bullet for him, and then Charlie shows off his bullseye as he shoots down the dwarf cowboy from a distance. Babe gets rescued by Riley, but the cops show up and arrest them, as well as Charlie. The team gets locked up inside a prison cell, and then Babe explains that these illegal clubs are run by the big boss, Beardy, who controls Fiddler's Green. She starts talking about her tragic story, but Riley isn't interested in hearing it because everyone is the same in this zombie apocalypse. After this, we see Big Daddy with his army as they try to enter the city. Big Daddy uses his zombie brains and tells a butcher zombie to use his knife and open a hole through a wooden door. Upon doing this, Big Daddy sees a bunch of hanging zombies used for target practice. This makes him roar in disgust. Meanwhile, Bully goes to meet Beardy and offers him a drink. He says that he wants a spot inside Fiddler's Green, but is told that there's a long waiting list. As expected, Bully gets upset, but Beardy calls his guard and tells Bully to get lost. He even orders his guard to end Bully, but he fails to do so, as Bully smacks the gun out of his hand and knocks him down. Bully then gathers his team to steal the Dead Reckoning truck and use it for leverage. He goes to the military camp and tries to sneak into the Dead Reckoning truck by using an expired pass. However, he gets stopped by the base commander, and things get interesting when Big Daddy and his zombie army show up. A fierce invasion follows as the zombies break into the military camp and start attacking all the soldiers. Bully and his team take this chance to escape with the Dead Reckoning truck, but they don't help any of the soldiers. As Bully makes his escape, Big Daddy learns how to use his AK-69 rifle, so he angrily shoots at the Dead Reckoning truck. With the military camp captured and conquered, Big Daddy and his zombie army move further into the city. This worries Beardy, and then he gets a call from Bully, who asks for $5 million in ransom. Otherwise, he's going to attack the city named Fiddler's Green. Beardy doesn't want to negotiate with a terrorist, so he decides to call upon Riley for help. After Riley is taken away by some guards, Charlie reveals to Babe that Riley had saved him from a fire, which explains his burnt face. Now Riley meets Beardy, who tells him he needs the Dead Reckoning truck back. It's revealed that Riley was the one who designed the truck in the first place. After a brief ego battle, Riley agrees to the job and negotiates for Babe and Charlie to come with him. Now, Bully sends one of his henchmen to the pickup point to collect the ransom cash when it arrives. The henchman checks out an empty dock and enters it with a skateboard, after which he smokes a cigarette. He is briefly scared when something moves next to him, but just turns out to be a rat. Now, Riley, Babe, and Charlie get ready for the mission, but Charlie is ridiculed by the smelly soldiers. Riley stands up for Charlie, and then the team meets their core team, consisting of a fat man named Fatty and a lady colleague. The team moves ahead and enters the military camp to look for survivors. Suddenly, Charlie spooks out Babe when he shoots at her. Luckily, he was just shooting a zombie who was trying to attack Babe to make a zombie baby. Now, Riley and a leader soldier enter a warehouse and find a zombie leg. After that, they move their flashlights and find some more zombie soldiers. It's a brutal sight, but Riley calms down the leader soldier and guides him in shooting down the zombies without mercy. Meanwhile, Babe pays Charlie back by shooting a zombie bride behind him, not wanting the bride to finish her wedding ceremony. However, the team needs to escape as the zombie soldiers start taking over the military camp. A headless zombie attacks the leader soldier, so he doesn't worry at first, but then the zombie gets its head back and bites him in the arm. Charlie shoots down the headless zombie, but it's too late for the leader soldier as he's about to transform. Babe learns that Riley lost his brother in a similar fashion, which is why he doesn't want to be the one firing the gun. She spares him the agony and shoots the leader soldier in cold blood. Meanwhile, Beardy has a meeting with his board to flex his beard and authority and come up with an escape plan. Now, Riley tells Fatty and Lady Collie that he will escape after the Dead Reckoning truck is found, and he also doesn't want to kill Bully. Bully asks his henchman if the ransom cash has arrived, but gets a negative response. It only gets worse when the man abruptly shoots down a zombie, only to find an army of clown zombies. He is eventually eaten by the clown zombies in brutal fashion. Later, Big Daddy and his zombie army reach the river bordering the city, so Big Daddy takes a leap of faith and dives into the water with his waterproof zombie muscles. It seems dicey at first, but Big Daddy emerges from the water, so his zombie army follows him in a creepy sequence. The zombie army eventually breaks into the city and starts attacking everyone in the abandoned area. They don't even spare a couple of girls who are in the middle of some hormone yoga. Beardy senses danger with his sensitive beard, so he decides to make a quick escape with cash that belongs to all board members. Riley and the team find the Dead Reckoning truck and decide to infiltrate it. Lady Colleague signals to Fatty that she'll kill Bully, but he smacks her down with a deceptive smile. He then joins Babe as they monitor Riley and Charlie getting into the Dead Reckoning truck. Bully threatens Riley and pulls out the missiles so that he can fire them at Fiddler's Green. Meanwhile, the zombie invasion continues, and Big Daddy helps his zombie girlfriend use his AK-69 rifle on a soldier. The zombies surprisingly overpower the soldiers, as they are able to use all sorts of weapons with ease. Bully is about to shoot the missiles, but Riley disables them with a hacking device, which he immediately breaks. This pisses off Bully, so he forces Riley to fix it. The Lady Colleague wakes up and is about to shoot Bully, but Riley saves Bully from the bullet. Suddenly, a zombie appears and attacks the Lady Colleague. Riley sends the Lady Colleague to meet Jesus, while Babe and Fatty finish off a skinny zombie. Now, Riley takes over the Dead Reckoning truck, while Beardy betrays a fellow board member by shooting him down for money. He eventually learns that Riley is taking the Dead Reckoning truck to Canada, so he curses his luck. Riley wants to save the city from the zombie invasion, but Bully doesn't, so he goes away with his buddy. Unfortunately, Bully also gets bitten while dealing with some zombies. Meanwhile, the zombie invasion grows worse as Big Daddy learns how to use a jackhammer. He spots Fiddler's Green and decides to go there with his new weapon. The zombies continue to tear through the abandoned city, and then we see Bully moving toward Fiddler's Green. Now, Big Daddy and the zombie army break through the glass doors and enter the luxury building. Chaos ensues as they attack all the residents of the building. Meanwhile, Riley and the team reach the abandoned city, and he gets off to open the gates. However, zombies surround the Dead Reckoning truck, and Riley gets sneak attacked by an old zombie. He chops off the zombie's head after a brief struggle and opens up the gate. Then, Riley climbs on top of the truck, and it moves forward while crushing the smelly zombies. However, a legless zombie latches onto the truck from behind. Some fireworks are launched to distract the zombies, but they don't work because Big Daddy has made all of them sentient. A board member and his fellow residents lament their luck as they get attacked by these zombies. Now, Big Daddy attacks Beardy, who shoots at him but can't land a headshot. Beardy escapes to the underground parking, where he enters his car. The assistant starts making arrangements for their escape, but Big Daddy shows up, so he runs away. Beardy tries to shoot Big Daddy, but he's run out of bullets. Big Daddy finds a fuel hose and shoves it into Beardy's car to spread fuel everywhere. He leaves after that, so Beardy gets out of the car to take his money bags, but is attacked by Bully, who is now a zombie. Beardy gets bitten in his muscles, but not his beard. And then Big Daddy arrives to light the fuel on fire, killing Beardy and zombie Bully in the process. Riley and his team witness the brutal zombie invasion in the city, so they reluctantly fire their missiles to kill all the zombies in front of them. We see that the rebel leader and his people have survived, so Riley happily greets them. Suddenly, the legless and skinny zombie attacks the rebel leader, but Fatty ends her skinny life. Now, Riley takes a look at Big Daddy and his zombie army, but decides to leave him alone. The movie ends with Riley and his team heading toward Canada, hoping to find a safe haven. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.